Hello everyone, this is KF Flawless. Welcome back to another game from the DPP Revival Ubers Open. We've got a game from round 4 today between Crying and Teriso169. I have not seen either of these games yet, so I invite you to enjoy experiencing them for the first time with me as we get through this set. So let's go ahead and get started. So, lead Tentacruel, interesting, versus a Deoxys attack. Hugely threatening Psychic attack could come out. And speak of the devil, Psycho Boost comes out, bringing Tenta back down to its Focus Sash, but it is going to get a layer of Toxic Spikes up. Interesting choice to save the Tentacruel for later, bringing in the Giratina to actually take a Shadow Ball, dealing quite a bit of damage, even at -2. That's Deoxys attack for you. And then the Hidden Power Fire, I believe, is going to come out from Giratina, bringing the Deoxys down to its own Sash. And then switching into Scizor to absorb the Shadow Sneak. Not taking a lot of damage, but Scizor, an interesting pick for Ubers. Really nice, having a strong U-turn to threaten a lot of Psychic types, Dark type Pokemon. Maybe Banded from the damage we saw in Skarmory there, hard to tell. But 2 out of the 6 Pokemon on Teriso's side, despite being grounded, not affected by those Toxic Spikes so far. Anyway, Dialga coming in, getting the rocks up, but there is now a layer of spikes on the field, meaning Deoxys will be toast when it does come in, unless a Rapid Spin comes off. And a Superpower coming out. Blissey staying in for some reason, not really afraid of the Superpower, despite that being a very common choice on Scizor in Gen 4. Groudon coming in to set up the Sun and threatening something or other, but Deoxys is going to come in and just fodder itself to Scout, and a Substitute comes out. Substitute on Groudon, really interesting tech. Help you avoid getting Will-O-Wisped or Toxic, but also giving you the chance to maybe set up, I don't know, does Groudon learn Focus Punch? That's a good question. I don't know. I love Sub Punch as like a strategy in general. Anyway, Kyogre coming in, getting Toxic, or just poisoned I should say, and losing a ton of health to the Hazard, so Water Spout will be nerfed a little bit. Dialga able to come in here and absorb a Surf, still taking 43%. That definitely looks like choice specs damage to my untrained eye. But not wanting to take a Thunder here from the Dialga on the left side, Dialga is going to get switched in. Oh, and the Kyogre, excuse me, my throat is a bit scratchy. And eat a Draco. Not going to take too much. That Dialga on the Crying side does seem to be a little bit more defensive, perhaps. And a Dragon Pulse coming out from Teriso's as well. So maybe it's the Dialga on the right that's the defensive one, considering it's got the lefties and the Dragon Pulse instead of Draco. And then, yeah, Dialga on the left doesn't have the leftovers. I'm sorry, I had those mixed up for a second. But in comes Groudon, the other of the big weather setters in Ubers, threatening the Dialga with numerous items. Rock Polish coming out, and no Lumberry on this Groudon, interestingly, so I'm not sure what item it could be running. Fire Punch is going to do a lot of damage in the Sun to Skarmory. Life Orb, okay, and then the Whirlwind is going to get the Groudon tossed out of there, so stopping a potential sweep from getting started there by hanging on just at 4%, even after the Life Orb Sun boosted Fire Punch. Really impressive on Skarmory's side. Palkia is going to go ahead and take it out with the Spatial Rend. No item revealed at this point on Palkia. Might be Lustrous Orb, might be Choiced of some sort. Staying in on the Groudon, going for another Spatial Rend. That could be Scarf or Lustrous Orb damage. I'm not sure about the rolls. This does seem to be a potentially bulkier Groudon because it was running that Substitute, so maybe it does have some bulk investment. But Kyogre is going to come in, go for a Surf now. And the Toxic, or the Poison, I'm sorry, is eating away little by little at this Kyogre. Is it in range of a Shadow Sneak? It does seem to be, and that's going to do it for the Kyogre. Now with Groudon coming in, being poisoned and taking damage from both Stealth Rocks and Spikes, I think Giratina can just continue going for Shadow Sneaks. Yeah, Dragon Claw is going to come out, so does Rock Polish, 3 attacks Groudon with the Life Orb, but that... is this... Wait, hold on a second. If this Groudon is faster than... Oh, okay, no, never mind. Dialga may be a Scarf set. We didn't really see what the item on that was, but it is going to outrun the Groudon and to KO it with an Outrage, going for the perfect accuracy Dragon attack just to stay safe. Better than missing Draco at the last second. Anyway, on to round 2. Crying taking game 1, I should say. Lead Rayquaza. Shiny Rayquaza, always very cool. And then Groudon, one of Rayquaza's unruly children. Draco Meteor coming down, going to do a good 80% of this Groudon. And Dragon Claw right off the bat. Doesn't actually get the kill on Rayquaza. Very interesting. Dragon Claw on lead Groudon. I'm very curious as to what that's kind of like specifically spec'd out to hit if it isn't killing this Rayquaza. Lugia coming in, of course, a gigantic wall, as we all know it to be, absorbing that -2 Draco Meteor, and then bringing in Fortress on an Outrage, and that Life Orb Outrage is going to do a ton of damage, even on the resisted hit. Of course, Rayquaza being locked in, it's not able to switch to a Fire move, unfortunately. Crit is going to land on the Fortress, who is going to get up a layer of Toxic Spikes, so it could be worse, but Heatran coming in is more bad news for the Fortress at this point. Lava Plume coming out, maybe it's a more defensive Heatran set. I don't know what kind of sets Heatran runs in DPP Ubers, honestly. I assume defensive is most popular, just because from a firepower perspective, literally, I don't think Heatran is really keeping up with the big hitters in Ubers, so you'd probably want something else for that DPS role. Whirlwind does bring in Cresselia now. Cresselia and Lugia, kind of, you know, birds of a feather, floating, bulky, psychic types kind of thing, right? Fun little, you know, parallel going on there. The toxic damage is starting to rank up on Lugia, though, so Crying does want to get that out of there. Bringing in Blissey, eating a burn off the Lava Plume. Not the biggest deal in the world, but still a bit of a nuisance nonetheless. Groudon coming in on the first layer of Toxic Spikes, getting poisoned, and this could be a setup opportunity. If this is a setup Groudon. Oh, unfortunately, the Earthquake is going to thud, or not thud, get floated over by the Giratina, who's going to retaliate with a Fierce Draco Meteor, while Groudon does get its rocks up. Okay, so this does seem to be a less offensive Groudon set, which we probably could have gathered from the leftovers recovery there. Blizzy coming back in, Natural Cure taking care of that burn, of course. Probably going to go for a soft boiled just because, you know, 66% HP is not really as high as you'd like it to be. No, but he actually is going to double into the Fortress now. And Groudon, of course, losing a bit of HP every turn to the poison, but the leftovers keeping it alive for one more turn. Stone Edge is the option to attack Fortress. Maybe just going for a mid-ground play in case Giratina comes back in, not wanting to get, you know, weaved on if he goes for the Earthquake, which he does go for now. Unfortunate circumstances for Teriso. But that is going to be how the turn plays out. Giratina is going to float above the earth as it quakes beneath him. Heatran coming back in, and the Protect is going to fail, of course, when the opponent switches. And now Blissey not really threatened by Heatran immediately, but if it does get a Toxic off, then it will force a switch eventually. We see Soft Boiled now, so Soft Boiled and Wish revealed on Blissey at this point. Not sure what else it could have. Bulk Up Dialga. This could be a big threat now, considering the kind of consistent damage that Crying's team has already taken at this point. Goes for the Outrage, so it is running Outrage instead of Dragon Claw. Much more aggro set for this Bulk Up Dialga, and if Crying's Dialga can get the kill here with the Draco, it might be able to stop it in its tracks. Unfortunately, doesn't seem to be the case. Outrage does a grip of damage, bringing Dialga back down to like 28%. Second Draco is going to finish it off, but now you got a -4 Dialga, and what's this last mon in the back? If it's something with the opportunity to set up and take care of things, okay, never mind. Heatran does just come back in, and Blissey is going to return to eat another Sun-boosted Lava Plume. Funny enough, there's only one Weather Setter in this game. Not very common. Oh, no, two. I guess just two Groudons, one here and one over here. They're both dead now, though, so the Sun is here to stay unless something that sets weather is hanging out in the back over here. Who knows? But Toxic getting set on the Blissey, meaning that it is a bit uncomfortable hanging in here on the Heatran. Teriso happy to just continue going for Lava Plumes, burning the PP on the healing moves, although because there is both Wish and Soft Boiled here, not a really optimistic thing to do to try and sit there and stall them both out. Critical hit on the Lava Plume, bringing Lugia down really low before catching the Wish in the air. But Lugia does have its own healing move in the Roost, so this really bulky, stall-oriented team, from what I can tell, is really making itself hard to take out, right, on Crying's side. A Lava Plume doing a decent amount of damage in the Sun, but really nothing I would call solid progress. The Toxic is, you know, good to have on the Lugia, but because it has that Roost and the ability to just go to Blissey whenever, it just doesn't feel like it's doing enough to make real progress here. Now Heatran, of course, just hanging in here, doing his thing. Toxic, Lava Plume, Protect, right? Just getting things, you know, going one step at a time is really not making itself, I don't know. This is kind of a situation where nothing is really happening. Let me raise the speed if I can. Give me a second. I'm gonna speed up just a little bit. See if we can. Oh, nope, that didn't work. Are there no shortcuts for changing the speed on Pokemon Showdown? Okay. Well, I'm going to just scroll down here and do it manually. Oops, forgive me for this. Fast, that way we can get a little bit more progress going. Cresselia coming in, we still haven't seen the last on Teriso's side. Lugia going for the Roost, bringing its health back up. Blissey coming back in, of course, on the explosion, so that was the last move it was holding in its pocket the whole time. Now the Blissey, of course, having that natural cure and being able to avoid the Toxic from really making significant progress on it is out of the way. Crying is, I wouldn't say in a pinch. They still have the, the Mon's advantage, like from a pure numbers perspective. And if this Cresselia doesn't have a way to get rid of this Toxic poisoning on it, it's going to be the one feeling the pressure very shortly. Roost, of course, removing the flying type from Lugia makes that Ice Beam do even less damage. Not even enough damage to be killing this Fortress, and the Fortress we saw is packing for Protect. Oh, but it does have Hidden Power Fire. Okay, good move on a Sun team. I have something to take care of Fortress, so it can't set up hazards on you forever. Giratina comes in with a Drago to finish this off, and what's the last? It's a Garchomp. Is this going to be able to do it with a Banded Outrage? I don't know what item this Garchomp is holding, but if it's banded, it might kill Lugia right here. Not quite. Is the Lugia shown an attack yet? We've seen Roost, Whirlwind, Toxic. The regular poison on the Garchomp is doing, a decent amount of damage, but it does prevent it from being Toxic poisoned. These Outrages are doing a decent amount of damage, but it's kind of a race against time. The Confusion hit itself in the Confusion. You hate to see it. 31, 19% on this Garchomp. A crit here might do it, but I don't think it's going to be the case. Lugia going for more Roosts just get its health back, and I think Garchomp is going to be tapped out at this point. Yeah, Outrage is not quite going to get there. Lugia is going to heal up, and Garchomp is going to be taken out. So that is going to be GG's to these players. Crying, taking it to, I believe. Why do I have a third game here? Wait. Crying won the first game, right? And the second game. Why did they play a third game? What? Am I missing something? Are these best out of 5? I'm so confused. Why are there 3 replays in this? Huh? Well, now I'm confused. Alright, we're just going to narrate this one too, and I'll request help from the editors to fix the situation if something wrong is going on. Oh, I'm so confused now. Okay, so off to a bit of a rocky start. My bad. But it looks like we've got a couple of weather exchanges. The rain is currently up with a Kyogre eating very little damage from a Fire Punch on that Groudon side. Blissey going for the soft boiled as Tyranitar comes back in to set the sand back up. Tyranitar can threaten the Blissey with a superpower here. Pursuit critical hit is going to take out the Blissey. And Groudon is going to come in now on that much more advantageous position for Groudon against T-Tar here. I assume this is a banded T-Tar if that pursuit did kill, so let's see what it goes for here. Oh, it goes for the payback, so it wasn't banded. I guess that crit really just did all the damage that it needed to. Fire Punch is going to get a burn here on Tyranitar, so a little bit of luck exchanged from these two players now. The burn and the crit each having their own, non-insignificant impact. Earthquake going to be able to take out the Tyranitar, of course. Stab, super effective ground move from the big bad himself. Kyogre is going to come in, though, setting the weather back up to rain and threatening a huge Hydro Pump or Surf or Water Spout. Hydro Pump being the water move of choice here. Dialga does tank that with its resistance, although in the rain, it is still very much a big hit. Kyogre showing Protect here, maybe scouting the move on the Dialga, burning a PP off the Draco Meteor. And Bronzong coming in now to absorb what is expected to be another one. This could be a choiced Dialga, seeing as it isn't showing leftovers. But who can say, right? Who can say? Bronzong taking a good bit of damage, but, still happy to take that, burn another PP on the Draco Meteor. Toxic is going to get, thudded into the Fortress, though, as it comes in. Maybe go for a Rapid Spin. Nope, actually goes for a Toxic itself, predicting something else to come in as the Bronzong switches out. Very smart play on Crying's side. Lugia coming in once again. Crying really seems to like Lugia. Is this the same exact team as the previous game we saw? Could be. It looks like it. It's the same 6, right? So it might be the same exact team. Darkrai coming out. Lugia going for Roost. Oh, maybe I had these two games backwards because they... Alright, I think I know what happened. I had the game order reversed, so this is probably game 2. Well, shit. we've kind of spoiled the ending for this series, as I put the games in the wrong order. That's on me, my bad. In any case, we'll play it out to the end, because we're already 2/3 of the way there, right? Dark Pulse crit going to do a lot of damage to this fortress coming in, but the Toxic on Darkrai is doing its toll, taking it down little by little. Focus Blast is going to land, dealing 42% as the Rapid Spin does get off, and that little bit of damage with the Toxic racking up is going to be putting a good amount of pressure on this Darkrai now, and we saw the Protect on this fortress in the previous game. Gonna block that Dark Pulse and just stall for more Toxic damage. At this point, I think you can bring in a Giratina to absorb a Focus Blast. Very good move on Crying's side, avoiding damage entirely, while the Darkrai does get KO'd to its Toxic damage there. Now Dialga coming back in with the pressure, going to go ahead and fire off a Draco Meteor, I imagine. Oh, Dragon Pulse actually coming in on the Dialga, and that is going to be enough. Wow, that did a lot. Is this like Adamant Orb or Choice Specs Dialga with Dragon Pulse? I don't feel like you would run Choice Specs with Dragon Pulse. Then again, what do I know? This could be anything. But I feel like if you weren't running a choice item, you would probably have Thunder, and you'd click that into Lugia right now. But maybe it is Specs Dragon Pulse, and Specs Dragon Pulse is good enough to KO the Lugia from there. Groudon, of course, being a huge threat right now. And Dialga not wanting to eat a stab, super effective Earthquake. So the Fire Punch is going to come out, though, predicting the Bronzong to come back in, and that is going to land correctly. Dragon Claw just for good measure, keeping it, safe. Doesn't want anybody coming in on that, and just resisting the fire damage like a Kyogre once again. Fortress coming in to, dodge a Draco Meteor. And so it looks like the Dialga is running dual Dragon Stab. Maybe it is Choice Specs then, is kind of what this screams to me. Going to go ahead and take out the Fortress with the second Draco Meteor. Of course, it is going to land, and then cycling Kyogre back in once again. Probably going to eat an Earthquake right here because Bronzong is out of the picture. Not a lot of motivation to hedge your bets now that the biggest wall to your stab and sun boosted attacks is gone. Hydro Pump is going to take out the Groudon, but now a solo Giratina is probably not going to be able to get through this whole team. Shadow Sneak, of course, will take out Kyogre. Dialga is still at 88% though, and I think a Specs Dragon Pulse is going to be at least good enough to bring it down to where the last Mon can deal with it without too much trouble. Draco not quite doing enough. A crit would have really been helpful there, but that is going to be the game. And so this was the game 2. I want to say that I copied and pasted the links from the Discord in the correct order. I might have made a mistake, but you know what? I'm gonna double check them right now. Right? Let's see. So this one that ends with this URL is the third link. Yes. This one that ends with, oh wait, no. Yeah. So this is the third. This is the third link that was in the Discord. This is the second link that was in the Discord, and this is the first link that was in the Discord. Yes. Okay. So it seems that there was a bit of a mix-up in the order that the replay links were pasted. So I do apologize for not, well, I don't know how I would have known ahead of time, but thank you all for watching and listening, if that's what you were doing instead. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and donate to the DPP Ubers Open prize pool. Hope to see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.